Sorry about that. Playing with new features. Welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. In today's episode, we are doing LEDA Day 14. And if you've seen the description, today is about value proposition and ask me anything. What is a value proposition? Well, a value proposition is what I provide to you here. Like I would open up saying from now on, which I'm actually interested in hearing what your thoughts would be on the new introduction of when I come in saying something along the lines of, Welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and I am here to help you build your brand, your channel, or content, as well as to help the sighted learn about the blind and visually impaired. I am going to do this by sharing my own personal experience and tips, tricks, and advice that I have gained over the years, as well as a lot in the last few months from a lot of our well known YouTube influencers, such as Dan Courier from Creator Fundamentals, Roberto Blake, Nick Nimmin, Pat Flynn, just to name a few. These guys are all awesome friends, and I'm also one of their followers, and I actually reach out to them on a regular basis to ask different questions that might be able to help us here in our community. And it is thanks to you all that I am able to do all of this, because prior to this challenge, I was beyond nervous and afraid of going live out of fear of what somebody else might think or say or whatever. And it is thanks to you all here being so encouraging and supportive that I cannot thank you all enough for the help that you have shown me. Because if you don't know and you're not in the Hangout group with us on Facebook, as of this morning, you are looking at the new StreamYard partner. How did I become a partner? Because I worked up the nerve of dealing with that confidence issue to ask about getting a discount. And because of the tutorials that I have created, and because I have been live streaming every day this month, I was thankful to receive confirmation from StreamYard last night and this morning that I will from now on be a StreamYard partner. So you can stay tuned to this channel for future tutorials on all features from StreamYard. That is my dedication to you, so you yourself can start streaming here on whatever platform you want. StreamYard has always gone out on their path to make this the most accessible streaming platform, and I can tell you right now, it is. How do I know it is? Because I use StreamYard. That's why, as of today, I am now a StreamYard partner. Thank you, Gage and Dan, and to the StreamYard support team for helping me last night and this morning to get things set up. I greatly appreciate you, and I look forward to doing business with you in the future and shouting out to the top of the mountains about StreamYard, because you guys are freaking amazing. I can't thank you all enough for the encouragement and support that StreamYard has shown me these past few months, as well as the email this morning and last night to be welcomed into the partner program. So thank you, StreamYard. I am like beyond ecstatic and excited. I can't thank you enough. Now, for those of you that are probably wondering, well, what does this mean for us? That means that from now on, that you can come here and see me live. I am now capable of streaming to 3 different platforms all at the same time. So right now, we are actually on YouTube, my Facebook page, as well as Twitter. That's right, 3 locations, 1 live stream. Welcome to you all. If you're new here, I am so thankful for having you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. because I can guarantee there's going to be a lot of improvements coming over the next few days and over the next few weeks. As I said, today's mission for LEDA is to give a value proposition. And I wanted to try to make it as quick of a proposition or value statement as possible. If you didn't hear it a moment ago, I would love to have your input on what you think of that value statement. Is it good for this channel? Do you feel that it is a short enough and well explained within that one sentence, or do you think I need to cut it down? Do you think it needs improvement? I am open to all feedback. I greatly appreciate it all. Now, let's see who we have with us in the chat today. Okay, I'm not seeing anything from YouTube just yet. Hey, cousin April, thank you for coming and supporting me. I greatly appreciate it. We'll throw you up there. It is greatly appreciated, April. I can't thank you all enough for helping me and supporting me on Facebook and everything I have been doing these last few months. I can't thank you all enough. Uh, You are absolutely welcome, Sean. That's exactly why I'm here, brother. If you have anything you need help with, by all means, please feel free to hit me up in the chat, the comments. You can email me. Well, Sean, I know you're on my friends list, so you can hit me up anytime, brother, and I will do my best to help you on anything you need. And that goes for all of you here watching. If there is anything that you need help with, whether it's streaming, whether it's content creation, helping you build your brand, learning how to do things for self-publishing, print-on-demand services, you name it. I have been spending the last 6 months tirelessly learning as much as I can to be able to help our community. Not just so you can grow your brand, but so you can do the things you want to do. Whether you want to get off of disability and have your own business, just want to make an extra couple bucks, whether you want to be an author, a comedian, whatever your content might be, I have a lot of resources and people that I can talk to help you accomplish those tasks and those dreams. How do I know this? Because I'm doing it right now. If you've seen my stream the other day, you will know this here is one of my dreams, is to be able to come here and help out our community by sharing my personal experience with my disability, which is X-linked retinitis pigmentosa, which is also known as XLRP, which is a hereditary eye disease that causes blindness. No, I'm not 100% blind. I am legally blind, but my eye disease can actually cause me to go blind at any moment. I could be right here, right now, and boom, lights out. That's one reason I love StreamYard, is because they have made everything so easy to be able to use that I am proud and happy to say that I am a part of the StreamYard partner community. If there is anything that you guys need help on, please feel free to hit me up in the chat, in the comments below. If you're watching this in the replay, please use hashtag team replay with your question or comment. That way I know that you are able to see this and it's not just sitting there floating around on YouTube or getting left behind in whatever platform we are going to be on. Just to FYI, I do have all of my accounts linked to Twitch, Twitter, everything that I can. So occasionally We will not be on Twitter. I am going to alternate between Twitter and Twitch so we can get a variety going for everybody to be able to find me a little bit easier. I will designate in the description of the schedule of which platforms we will be on from now on. I did not do it today because this is my very first multi-stream, so I am learning a bit about the features that I now have. So I will be making tutorials starting this weekend to help you learn all the added features that were not in the previous streams setups for StreamYard tutorials. That first couple of videos was on the free version. Now that I am a partner, I have all of the features, so I will have a better capability of going through and giving you in detail what everything is, what it does, how to use it, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned to this channel for that. Oh, sorry about bumping the microphone there. Thank you, April. Greatly appreciated. As I said, today's mission for LEDA is my value proposition. So I would love your input on what you think of what I have for my proposition. Welcome to Consult the Blind Guy. My name is Andrew, and I'm here to help you grow your brand, grow your business, create content, and to help you learn about the blind and visually impaired community. What do you think? Is that too long? Too short? Does it explain enough? I'd love to know what you think about that because I've been sitting here literally all day trying to figure out the best way of wording this proposition because it is going to be something I have to use moving forward from today. So I thank you for your feedback. I really do, because without you guys, there would be no value proposition. There would be no Consult the Blind Guy on YouTube, Facebook, or any platform. It is because of you that I am here and capable of doing this. Hey, Divided by Sight. I am so happy to see you here. Thank you for joining us, Lauren and Nicole, Blind Mage. I can't thank you two enough as well, because of you two ladies. You have helped me a lot these past few months with figuring out how to do the StreamYard streams on the free version, as well as getting a little bit more comfortable on camera. And I can't thank you two enough because you have been a great, great help. So, with that said, if you actually like that value proposition, I think that may be the one I use. At least for now, moving forward, I might tweak it a little bit here and there just to see if I can improve on it any, because I really do want to make it so that you understand when I open up the streams and do the content, that when I open from now on, you will be able to understand not only what the topic of each video or stream is, but the whole purpose behind this channel. So thank you all for your help and feedback on this. All right. Let's see here. Good question, Lauren. How do you make merch when you're still discovering your brand? That is a very good question. With me, Divided by Sight, honestly, I started out just thinking of what is it that your audience is. Are they visually impaired and blind like our community is? I know that you do gear your stuff towards the blind community just like I do, but I know you're more of a content creator along the lines of being an author, and that's your niche. So with you, I would think about what is it that you want your audience to feel like when they see your merch? Do you want them to be like, "Oh, hey, that shirt's specifically for me because it tells a part of my story," or is it that they're gonna be a little bit like funny to make puns at being an author? Like, for instance, on my Consult the Blind Guy merch page, I have images of a blind person with sayings underneath them that would relate to our community, along the lines of, if you like your ankles, then stay out of my bubble. Why? Because we in the blind visually impaired community, when we use our white canes, that's a thing that the sighted community will look at and be like, well, what do they mean? And if they don't move, they're going to find out real quick when that cane hits them in the legs, ain't they? So for us, it would be a comical thing, but for the sighted, it's an educational thing. Or I have some sarcastic ones as well. Just because I'm blind doesn't mean that I'm deaf. Or along the lines of, I may be blind, but I see through you just fine. If you can come up with things that go along with what your audience is, then you can come up with a little bit more of an easy way to figure out what you want for your merch. Um, Lauren, just because you are actually one of the community members on Facebook, we can actually discuss that a little bit more in the Hangout group as well as in the mastermind. I would love to help you figure out what kind of designs you want to do, how to make them, which platform to use. In fact, I am going to begin working on a more in-depth video, or well, series of videos around print on demand. That way, you know which platform has what services, quality assurances, how everything works to make it easier for you. So you know which one you want to be on. I know that I've got you currently on Teespring looking at stuff like I've been on there, but I am actually going to be looking at Shopify and Printify and Printly and Redbubble and Zazzle. I'm going to look at them all. I'm going to do my best to look at their terms of service, make it a lot more easy to understand compared to how they have it laid out, as well as the pluses and the minuses of each platform. So stay tuned for that, because that is going to be a great series of videos, because I am going to do a deep dive in each and every one of them. Also, Lauren, I'm gonna ask you here in the stream before I put it out there on Facebook, just because you're here, so it's easier to do it. But would you and your sister be interested in being moderators for my channel? If so, will you please let me know, because I will add you in as soon as I'm done with today's stream. Because I recently found out today, thanks to the live streaming pros, that there is actually no limit on having moderators. So if you guys would, or if you ladies, or if any of you guys as well, Sean, Greg, any of you guys are interested in being moderators for my channel, I would absolutely love it, because you guys are my friends, and I can't think of anybody better to have helping me with managing the comments and everything than you. It is because of you that I have been able to make such progress over these last few months. So thank you all again. I really can't tell you how grateful I am for your help and your encouragement and support, especially these last couple weeks, because I have shared so much of my personal life that I would never share with my family or even my close friends. So you all have actually seen a deep dive into what it is that I have dealt with throughout my life. And I know now by sharing everything that I have these past 2 weeks with you that I should be able to open up more and share those things with my family, even though it still plagues me in the back of my head that they're going to hate me or something. So thank you. Seriously, I can't thank you all enough. Hey, Aaron. Thanks, brother. All right, Aaron. If I do remember, you said earlier for Karma's stream that what was the biggest struggle in LEDA as well as what's the positives and the negatives, I think is what you said. If you could put that in chat, I'd appreciate it so I can remember exactly how you worded it. Hey, Danny McKenna, how are you doing? Awesome, Sean. I will definitely get that set up here after the stream. Thank you, brother, for helping me out with being a moderator. It's greatly appreciated. You too, Divided by Sight. Thank you, Lauren. I can't thank you two enough. You and your sister, Sean, all of you in our community. I can't really. I am actually working on a way to give you something in return as a token of appreciation. I know you don't have to tell me because you guys have already told me before that just doing my streams and chatting and everything else is good, but I feel it's a good thing for me to do to actually show you something as a token of appreciation because I can't thank you guys all enough for all the help. Yes. Um, I'm I'm actually curious. This stream, I set it up originally at noon because I was thinking, I had an hour between Pat Flynn and live streaming pros. But then I decided, at the same time, at noon until like 22:01, we actually have a Zoom meeting for the quarantine from Pat Flynn's channel. Excuse me. Pardon for burping there. Um, but after Pat Flynn, we have a Zoom meeting for the quarantine members. And that's why I've actually switched it up to around 2 in the afternoon, or well, just a couple minutes after 2, is because I wanted to make sure that I could be there, do our quick business meeting, and then I had enough time to see what the topic was for live streaming pros, if it was something that was very important for me to watch because I do learn a lot from them every day. And I wanted to be able to show them the support that they have shown me because I have learned so much from LSP. I can't thank David and Laria and the whole LSP team for everything these last couple weeks because being in the LEDA challenge has definitely helped me out quite a bit. Hi, Leah. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're having a good morning or afternoon. I don't remember what time it is over there. Hey, Greg. How are you doing today, brother? Earth Magic, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. Oh no, you're going now. Where are you going, Danny McKenna? Are you busy? Alright, I'm trying to read through these here comments. I seen a couple of them a minute ago I was trying to keep up with. Um, no gang, thank you for joining us as well. It's great to see you here. Um, Aaron Waller, if you could please, brother, if you could put your question in the chat for me again, I would appreciate it. I'm not noticing it. Thank you all for putting up with me. I'm trying to bounce back and forth because being on the multi-stream, I now get I can get comments from Facebook and from Twitter as well as YouTube. So I can only see so many of the comments coming in on my phone because it's only on YouTube. So I have to lean back and forth a little bit so I can see what is going on there. That way I can make sure if anybody on any of the other platforms is not getting ignored. I don't want to be disrespectful. Uh, Thank you, Greg, for that. Yes, if you are here watching us, please don't forget to hit the like button. It will help out the algorithm, and it just makes me feel that much better anyway, because I love seeing them likes the last few days. I was actually shocked to see so many people popping in and commenting and giving likes. I can't thank you guys all enough. And with that said, I am now going to open it up to the A.M.A section of today's stream, and you can now ask me anything you want. You can ask personal questions, business related questions, anything you want. You can ask it, and I will answer. I'm not seeing Aaron's question, but I do know I was somewhere along the right pathway. I do believe when I mentioned about the struggles and positives and negatives of doing the LEDA challenge. What have I noticed because of doing the LEDA challenge? The biggest struggle, I think, at least these past 2 weeks for the first start, the biggest struggle I had was being afraid of people's opinions and perception of me because of the way that I might view something compared to them. It was really nerve-wracking to hit that go live button out of fear that I might get trolled. Thankfully, being in the LEDA challenge, I don't have that fear now because everybody there is so encouraging and supportive, just like our blind VIP community, that I am so comfortable there now. It's like being with my own family. And just like our community here is like we're a close knit little family. We're all good friends. We talk, chat, and we can joke around and things like that. And that's exactly how LEDA is. Is we've been diving into a lot of personal topics, from childhood all the way up to now. Whether it's things that we deal with in the community, whether it's things that we deal with in our families or business or whatever, we have all opened up and shared so much about our personal lives that it is like we're all best friends. Um, the positives of it, I now have more self-confidence to be able to come on here, speak my mind, as I'm sure you've all noticed a lot the last few days because of not hiding my way of speaking or my opinion on this whole fucking pandemic that is just it getting out of hand. Sorry, but it is. I am so goddamn tired of hearing this governor wants to do this, or like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris wanting to now mandate that we need to wear a mask. Let me explain this. You might disagree with me on this, but let me explain this. These politicians cannot, they cannot mandate that we wear a mask. They cannot mandate that we socially distance. Everything that they're trying to do right now to force us into doing these things is technically a violation of federal law as well as your constitutional rights. As I said the other day, by forcing you to wear a mask and to socially distance, that is a violation of your First Amendment right. Your First Amendment, if you do not know, which I'm sure most of you do, but your First Amendment right underneath the Constitution is your right to free speech, which is your right to express yourself, no matter who likes it, who don't like it. That is your right to speak your mind. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because if they do, then they themselves are being dictators and not following what the Constitution says. You have the right to assemble, which means you have the right to be able to gather in a group of however many people you want to. They cannot tell you at any point that you cannot gather. That is a violation of your rights. Again, a violation of your rights as well, because it would also classify underneath a violation of your First Amendment under religion, because now they're trying to dictate that you cannot go to church unless it's virtual, unless you have a mask on or socially distance, and they cannot do that unless they go through the proper protocols and run everything through legislation and run it through the House of Representatives and Congress to actually put it into law. It is a violation of federal law and constitutional law. They're also doing their best to violate your First Amendment by denying you freedom of the press. Why do I say they're denying your freedom of the press? Because if you say anything that they think doesn't go along with this whole pandemic, that they're going to remove your post on no matter what platform, whether it's here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch or Twitter. If they feel that you are not coinciding with the status quo of the government, then they're going to censor it. That again is a violation of your rights, because you might not realize it, but this platform is considered a part of the press. The press is not just the newspaper, it's not just the radio, it's not just the news. Any platform, whether you're on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, these are all platforms that are under the umbrella of being the press, because you have the right to speak your mind to the public. It is an open platform. Therefore, if they censor what you're saying because they don't like it or they want to call it fake news, even if you have facts to back everything up, they're violating your rights. And I want everybody here that is watching this stream to know your rights. If you don't understand anything in that Constitution, you bet your ass you can hit me up and I will go through it and help you cross the T's and dot the I's, because I spent 8 years in the Marine Corps uniform to protect those rights. And I'll be damned if anybody in the city government, county government, state government, federal government, or internationally is going to deny anybody your damn rights, because that's exactly what I stood for in that uniform. I don't care if you're a foreigner in this land. I don't care what color skin you have, whether you're disabled or non-disabled. A violation of your constitutional rights is against the law and a violation against you. And that ain't cool, because they cannot dictate to you a damn thing. They have to follow protocol. And until they do it, do not abide by anything that they are telling you you must stop doing. Make sure that you practice and know your rights. Do not let anybody violate them. Sorry for going on a little bit of a rant here, but this whole freaking thing that's going on is pissing me off to no end, because there are so many people that are just following along with the crowd that aren't paying attention to what is happening. This media crap with mainstream media and the politicians is all a manipulation of the people and a violation of your rights. It is them trying to gain control over every aspect of your life. And that's not cool, because we are not communist China. We are not Nazi Germany, just to name a couple. I'm putting it out there because that's exactly the behavior that they are putting out right now. And that, I don't know about you, is a repeat in history. I do not want to see a repeat in history, because if we continue to repeat history, we're just going to keep going down the tubes. So know your history so you can further the betterment of this country and this world for everybody. Because as I've said the other day, to me, I don't care what country you're in. I believe our constitutional rights, or our Bill of Rights, is a human right, not just a right for here in the United States. Everybody is from the same earth. We all share similarities in our DNA. We all have to deal with this bullshit from corrupt governments. So please, I am begging you, know what is going on and ensure that you are not being told what to do without them violating your rights. With that, I'll quit on that rant, because I'm sure you're all probably tired of hearing that one. Danny, I hear you, brother, because I haven't been going out myself, but that's because I really have nowhere to go. But you bet your ass, brother, if I could go and get in the car right now to be able to drive over and see you or see Sean or Lauren or anybody here, if I could get out right now and go visit you, I sure as hell would be, because I am not going to allow government to violate my rights, and I'll be damned if I'm going to allow them to violate yours. Thank you, Dale. Greatly appreciated, sister. But it just irritates me, because I really want you guys to think about what's going on with this pandemic, okay? Because right now they're telling us we have to stay inside or stay away from each other 6 feet and wear a mask and all that. They're closing down all these businesses. And when you really think about it, in the last 20 years, how many outbreaks of H1N1 have we had? How about H1N5? Swine flu or Zika, Ebola, SARS, any of that. Any of them freaking flu type issues that we've had in the 20 years. Never once did we have a situation where they told us, hey, you got to wear a mask. You have to stay away from each other. Never once did they sit there and state that we're going to mandate that you do these things. And I'm sorry, but when you really look at the numbers, those flus, swine flu, avian flu, bird flu, Ebola, Zika, all of those illnesses have killed more people than we're currently dealing with from COVID. Really. Worldwide, we have had less people pass from COVID than we have the other illnesses during flu season. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying that this is a fake flu or virus. I'm just stating that the numbers that they keep throwing out to us are not accurate and they are manipulating them on purpose for control. That's their whole thing right now is everybody in DC wants control. Every election year we have something like this happen and they keep getting worse because they keep getting so many to just follow along the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Please don't follow the crowd. Think for yourself, do your research, and see the facts as they are. I am not going to come here and tell you these things, and I'm not going to lie to you. I have been doing so much over the past 5 months to be able to give you the value so you can do the things you want to. I'd be damned if I'm going to lie to you. I promise. That is one thing I will guarantee here on this channel. You will never, ever hear me lie to you. That's not my way. I would much rather stomp on my own foot or put my head through a wall than lie to you. I have always been somebody who loves to do research because I am a Native American. So I have to know a lot of our history because of my family bloodline and our culture. And it just goes on and on and on. I'm a big time history nut. So trust me when I say I am not going to lie to you when it comes down to these viruses and the different things that we've had happening throughout the past few months. Like my video on the whole situation with the riots and the police brutality and all that I had in my video about what do all these people have in common. George Floyd, uh, Joshua Bear Heels, and the list goes on. Trayvon Martin. They all those people have one thing in common, but what the mainstream media doesn't tell you is the truth. Their whole thing is to give you what they think you want to hear and what their bosses want you to hear so they can make you react. The more that they can make you react, the more that they can get you to do things. And that's subliminal influencing, subliminal manipulation, because they're trying to play on your fear. That's their main thing. Did you know that every social media that we have out right now for the news companies, radio stations, all of them, there's only 6 owners. That's it. 6. All mainstream media is owned by 6 different networks. That's it. Now, if you think about what our laws and things say about monopolies, then you would realize that them people are actually doing things because they're being told to be able to manipulate our citizenry around this country into behaving how the government wants them to because of political parties going, I'm better than you because I'm a Republican, or I'm better than you because I'm a Democrat, or I'm better because I'm Green Party. No, not one of these politicians is better than the other. Not one of them is fully representing the people because they are sitting here fighting each other back and forth about who's better than the other so they can get a vote. That's not cool. If I would have had my birthday earlier in this year rather than in a couple months, I would have met the requirements this year to actually run for the presidency. But because my birthday is literally like 2.5 weeks before the election, I don't qualify until next year. And you bet your ass, I do plan on running for office, whether it's going to be state government or Congress or even presidency. You can count on me going on a run at least once here in the near future because I feel I would be a good person to represent our country. Not only our country, but our community. Because there is not one person up there that really represents the blind or visually impaired. There's not one person up there that is actually representing everyone in this country to the best of their ability. They're representing themselves in a small minority of our citizenship. So think about those things. Please, 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 please. I am begging you all to know your rights, know your history, and not to let them manipulate you. Think for yourselves. Do not follow the crowd. Please. If we do these kind of things, we can actually overcome these problems and hash them out as adults and fix things for the better for all of us. Because it is not just about one person, it is about the whole. As I said, I'll quit ranting because I'm sure I could sit here and go on and on and on for hours. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with your comments. Hey, CAD Pro, thank you for joining us. Do I like audiobooks? Yes, Dale, I do love audiobooks. I actually would prefer an audiobook over reading a regular book because it's easier for me than to strain. Because, like, right now, I'm using my phone so I can do my best to keep up with comments because it's so far away on the computer. Uh, let's see. Sorry, I don't remember posting. That's right. Being halfway done with LEDA challenge. What have you learned? Positive struggles and etc. All right. Thank you, Aaron, for that. Greatly appreciated, brother. Um, being halfway through the challenge, what have I learned? The positives and the struggles. Yeah. As I was saying a few minutes ago, I think that I've learned a lot about myself, honestly. I have learned a lot about my own insecurities that I have to overcome. I have learned about my own self confidence issues in my own perspective of myself has been like beating myself up compared to our wonderful community here who has this great perspective of me being a good person in helping our community and helping educate people and things like that. And I thank you all enough for that because I can't honestly thank you enough. Because if I could, I would literally reach through this screen right now and give each and every one of you a big old hug because you have been so supportive in helping me accomplish these different tasks the past couple weeks. You've helped me a lot in opening up and being my authentic me and not hiding how I feel and what I think. Uh, I was honestly afraid when I first started that I would be trolled on a regular basis because I do not think like, as I said a moment ago, following along the crowd. I like to think outside of the box. I like to investigate things and figure out what is really happening. And that's why I went on my little rant because I cannot stand getting lied to. I can't stand it. I hate liars. If it was up to me, a liar would have his tongue ripped out because then he'll never be able to lie again. Just saying. Um, my positives. My positives from being halfway through LEDA is I'm more open, I'm more authentic, I am less worried about trolls because I now have the thought in my head of go ahead and troll me because if you do troll me, you're going to get blocked and removed. Plain and simple. If you don't like what I'm saying, fine. We can agree to disagree. That's 100% fine with me. That is your right. And that's one reason I served in the Marine Corps. You have those rights. And I will be damned if I'm going to be somebody to take them away from you. We can have adult conversations and debates and things without attacking each other. There's absolutely no reason that we have to hate each other over different perspectives on the situation. We can talk these things out, and maybe, just maybe, you'll actually learn something from each other. You know, you might have a reason to wear your mask. For instance, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if he's here. Oh, yes. In fact, he is here because I just seen it. Just Samson is a perfect example. I completely understand why Just Samson is wearing a mask. He has also agreed with me on my statement because he is also a veteran and knows exactly how our politicians and mainstream media are. He could tell you firsthand everything I just said a minute ago is the truth because he and I both served in that uniform. We both swore the same oath to defend you and this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, including our own government, because we do not want to see our country in the hands of some tyrants. We do not want to see a repeat in history to where we have a civil war. This is the whole purpose of us being in that uniform, is to defend everybody that was here, no matter whether you're a foreigner or not. When you're here on our soil, you're underneath the United States military's protection. And unfortunately, there are people in our government who would like to use our military against us. And that's one reason that they have a big fear of all of us veterans is because we currently outnumber all the enlisted. The veterans outnumber what the military currently has. We have more firepower as civilians than the government. They might have some bigger guns, but we still have more guns. We all have the same training and experiences when it comes down to going to boot camp and getting that knowledge and serving. And thank you for all of those that are here with me that are veterans. Because of you, it is it is because of you that I was able to be able and to speak my mind and serve in our military alongside a lot of our brothers and sisters. It is because of you that I have been able to learn as much as I have about our history and how things work for standing operating procedures and everything else. If we didn't make those sacrifices, none of us right now would be able to speak our minds like we are. What are some of the struggles as far as it goes with LEDA? Um, I think right now my biggest struggle still with LEDA is having the short amount of time to prepare for our challenge. And it's not like, excuse me, coffee burps. Here we go again. Maybe I shouldn't drink so much coffee before I come on stream. Um, but I think that's one of my big struggles right now is that we get told at about 11, 12 o'clock at night Eastern time, roughly what our mission is for the following day. And sometimes it's an easy task, like today is the value proposition. That it only took me a little bit to come up with a couple ideas, but the other day, like when I shared my personal story, no, I probably didn't have to go all the way through pretty much my life story from beginning to current. But I figured by doing that, you would actually see and understand why I am the way I am, why I think the way I think, and why I tell you the things I do, because I am not about lying. I am all about spreading truth and awareness and helping others. That has always been my purpose ever since I was knee high to a grasshopper, is to help people, not hurt people. As I said before, I'm certified in saving lives and taking lives. I would much rather be saving a life than taking a life. But if it comes down to it, you can bet your ass I will go to war and I will sacrifice my own life for anybody that's here. Divided by site. Question. YouTubers you'd like to collab with? Oh, good question, Lauren. Well, besides you and your sister, I'm actually in the process of talking with Greg, the Blind Guy Show. Sorry, brother. As I said, I've been super busy, especially with last night and getting everything ready because of StreamYard and my new partnership. Thank you, StreamYard. Um, but Sean, I'm hoping to have Sean come on with us. I would like to have Greg come on with us. In fact, after this stream, I actually have to hit up my brother Martin Hewlett, who is my affiliate. Martin is going to come on in the next couple days to do a Q&A session so you know what my affiliate with him is about for banishing anxiety. That way I can help you understand why I have his course, why I am promoting his course, and what it can do for people in our community. That way you can also ask any questions you might have if you have any concerns or anything like that, want to know anything about the course, anything. I'm going to have him come on so we can personally put a face to the name and be able to understand what it is exactly that I'm promoting and why I'm promoting. I already know I can tell you the reasons and what it is, but I think it would be much better by having Martin here with me. That way you can actually see who it is that created this course and understand about him and why it was made. I'm looking into talking to Dan Courier. I'm going to ask Dale L. Roberts. I'm going to see about possibly Pat Flynn. There are a lot a lot of our YouTuber community who I am actually in the process of reaching out to today and over the next couple of days to schedule over the next 2 weeks to come on my show. And I hope that if there's anybody that you would like to see specifically on here, please let me know and I will reach out to them so we can have them on. Uh, let's see. Uh, um, I'm glad you agreed, Dale. Thank you for that. Uh, Event over. Let's move on to something else. Yes, yes. I'm moving on to something else. Divided by sight. Uh, Great editing, poetry book, and scheduled a video for Sunday. Awesome. Regards of what some people are saying, they don't have our best interest at heart. Yes, that is exactly it, Danny. That's exactly it. There's a lot of people out there who do not have our best interest at heart. Their only interest is furthering themselves in their political career or getting that notoriety of being famous or seen as a celebrity or just getting rich. And that irritates me because I'm not trying to get rich. That's why, if you honestly asked, that's why I don't market to you about my merch. That's why I do not mention my Patreon. I know that I should because that can help me, but I don't want you to think that I'm all about the money because I'm not all about making money from everybody here. If you want to contribute, that is entirely up to you, and I am beyond grateful for that. But I originally felt like by mentioning it as often as I was going a little bit overboard, and I don't want you to feel like I'm here to take money from you. I am here to give you the value. And if you want to provide that financial donation, that is entirely welcome and greatly appreciated. Because I do not want anybody to feel like I am pressuring you to go here, give me money, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me. No, 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 no. I hate that. That's why I have been structuring things the way I have, because if you want to contribute or donate or whichever way you want to word it, it is totally up to you because you want to do it, not because I gave you a call to action to go, hey, go over to my merch and buy this shirt or whatever product, or go over to my Patreon and pay this per month and you'll get these features. If that's something you want to do, that is entirely up to you. That's why I've kept my calls to action very, very, very limited. I have been more focused on building our community than making money. And if there were more people in our government that would actually behave that way, we would have such a much better experience. And I I can totally agree with that, Danny. With wearing a mask out in public and out of respect for others, I totally get that. I respect that because you're using your own free thought. You're not just doing it because you were told to. You consider what is going on and what's happening in your area and things like that. And that's good. I'm not saying not to wear a mask. I'm just trying to make everybody think about the situation so you're not getting manipulated. Have not left the house since March. Don't have any masks, so I better stay inside. We live in an elderly person, so better not risk it for her. That is understandable, Dale. I can understand that totally. Um, from Greg, since there is a chance that you could go totally blind at any time, have you considered learning to use a screen reader before that happens? Yes, I do actually have the screen reader that is built into my computer, and I do occasionally use it because that's one of my ways of listening to my own notes. For instance, like my book that I'm working on, as well as the transcript I'm working on for People of Video. I will actually write everything out in my paper or for the book, and then I will actually have my computer read everything back to me so I know that it sounds good, it flows right, there's no misspellings, anything like that. So yes, I have been using screen readers. I just got to get a little bit more familiar with them. Agree, Danny. Uh-oh, he's off on a tangent. Yeah, sorry, Earth's magic sister. Yeah, you don't want people putting everything out. That's how people panic and we can run out of food and toilet paper. Yeah, that whole situation with the toilet paper and the food, them people are selfish. They're not thinking about what's going on. And that whole situation happened because of the way the mainstream media did everything, how they're trying to force everything, and everybody just followed the crowd. Unfortunately, they came out with that news, and that's all it took. Is they're like, "Oh, fear, let's go. We've got to panic." No, look at the situation, figure out what it is that is going on, what you're being told, so you know whether or not it is a reason to panic. If you panic right away without actually looking at what happened, that is some strong manipulation because they played on your fear. They played on it so they could cause chaos. And that's what they wanted because that's one of my famous sayings ever since I was younger is the best way for a government to control a people is by fear. If you create fear, you can create chaos. When you create chaos and panic, they can then come in and dictate to you what you can and cannot do because then they can go, okay, now we're going to push these things through and we'll make a law to take your constitutional rights because there's a lot of our congressmen and women who are actually trying to modify our constitution so you do not have the right to defend yourself. You do not have the right to free speech. You do not have the right to your religion or the ability to assemble or your right to a fair trial. And the list goes on and on and on. And that is one thing that I hope by doing my streams and my content that I can help people understand is the situations that we're in are actually being manipulated quite a bit by politicians who are only trying to further their own career and don't care about anybody else. I've been in the house 3 times since this all began. Wow, Greg, that's crazy. 1 hour later. Yep, an hour later. I know. I'm over the usual hour by a couple minutes. I'm trying to get through the chat real quick so I can see the possibility of questions. Best accessibility apps. Um, I've actually got the new Envision app. I got it purchased. I have the lifetime deal, and I like it. It's a good screen reader. It does color detection, OCR. You can have it identify faces. You also have Be My Eyes. There's also, let's see, I'll minimize this for a second and we'll pull these up. I have on my phone InVision, text to speech, Bixby Vision, um, sorry, I got the screen blocking part of my phone. No, 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 no. I've got a QR and code scanner in case I'm out at the store. That way I can check prices and stuff in different stores at the same time, make sure what prices are and stuff like that. That way you can get their price match deals that they do. Um, there's also Get Me There, which is a GPS for your mobile phone, kind of like Be My Eyes in a sense, because last I knew they were talking about adding in that feature to where you could actually have your contacts listed in the app. That way, if you're out, you can use the GPS on the program. And if there's construction or anything like that, you'd be able to hit your contact up. They'll be able to pull up your GPS location, use the camera on your phone, and be able to direct you around. But out of all of them, my absolute favorite is Envision. Yes, I know, Samson. I am actually that's what I was trying to get at is I am going to do calls to action to Patreon and things like that, but I'm going to limit how often I do my calls to action because I just see so many different influencers that are like very, very heavy on the calls to action of, hey, donate to this or give to this or buy into that. And I don't want to pressure anybody into it. I want them to be able to do it on their own free will rather than constantly shoving it down their throats. Because I do have Patreon. I have not posted on it because I've been trying to build the community up more than trying to focus on getting the money right away. But if anybody is willing to join the membership, I would be more than happy and grateful for that. But I don't want you to feel like that's the whole reason I want you all here. Right. Totally. Yeah, that's what I was getting at, just Samson. Thank you, bruh. Really, Danny. Um, I don't have a Galaxy, but I do have a Samsung. So I will hit you up on Facebook and I'll see if I might be able to help you out with your screen reader, brother. Um, let's see. Danny, yes, yes, brother. You should start doing your content uploads. If you need help with anything, let me know, Danny, and I will help you on that. Really? Um, Sean, what kind of phone do you use? Are you an Android user or an iPhone user? Danny, don't patronize me. You're so funny. Greg, that's totally fine. I know you're not focused on doing that kind of thing. The reason I have Patreon and stuff is because I am trying to build a business around my brand. That is the whole reason I am now a partner with StreamYard. That's why I have an affiliate. I am doing everything I can to get off of disability. I am so tired of being dependent on the federal government to give me money every month. I am tired of them telling me what I can and cannot do, where I can and cannot live, in what I more or less am allowed to do in my general life. Because as an artist, by Social Security standards, for instance, if I grab any one of my pieces of craft work and I sold it to one of you here on this stream, even if it's $5, if I sold it to you, Social Security wants to know. Once you tell Social Security, they're going to take that $5 and they're going to take it from your benefits. And in some cases, they will actually take your entire month's benefits because of earned income. That's bull, because we're low income. It is very, very hard for us to be able to afford things. If you're only getting anywhere between $400 and $700 a month, what is your rent cost? If you're living on your own and you have a rent that is $500, and then you've got your water bill and your cell phone or house phone bill, and then you have your electric bill, and then you still have to get groceries. Okay, if you're paying that amount for your rent and you have to pay for your phone, now you still have your two utilities or three utilities depending on your situation, as well as groceries. And then you're really, really tight on your funds. And for me, when I first started getting Social Security, I got $500 a month. I had a $400 a month rent payment. That left me $100 for gas, electric, water, cell phone, and food. When they gave that to me, couldn't even get food stamps. Literally, they would only give me $10 for food assistance because you make too much. How am I making too much? The money's coming from you at Social Security, but yet I make too much in order to get food assistance. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing as much as I can to build my brand and create a business as best I can with all the knowledge and experience I have to offer, because I am so tired of seeing people in our situation be broke, depressed, suicidal because of the anxiety that we deal with because of their restrictions. As I've said a few times in my other streams, I have attempted suicide. Why? Because of the stress of things in society, family issues, and the government telling me, here, we're going to give you this amount of money per month, and you only have this amount, and we're not going to help you beyond that. You know, when you have no money to go out and get groceries, or you have no money to even go out and watch a movie on a matinee at the theater for like $3 or $5, that sucks. You know, you can't go out and get no pop or junk food or anything like that. I have dealt with that so much, and it irritates the living fuck out of me that people in our community have to struggle like that every single day. You know, look at this whole stimulus package issue right now. Some people still haven't even gotten their first damn check yet. Now they're talking about a second one. And every freaking day, they're sitting here, oh, well, we're going to have this stimulus package. But then they turn around, oh, no, they did make an agreement back to the drawing board where we've got all these restaurants and manufacturers and other businesses that are going out of business permanently because of this whole situation. That's not cool. That all could have been prevented, but because of politics, it just keeps snowballing and snowballing into a bigger situation that is going to cause all of us to pay a very heavy price for it. Um, yes, Sean, hate, control, and fear. Yep, good old mainstream media. The world's number one manipulator right there is mainstream media. Yes, toilet paper and other essentials. Yikes. It is very, very hard when you're on such a low income. I did it for 7 years. And thankfully, I am now getting a little bit more because of my mom being disabled. And I was under the age of 22 when I became disabled, or as far as they call it. I was disabled by the time I was 10, but like I let that stop me do anything. Yes, Dale, I totally understand that. The community is the most important to me. The rest is all comes is great. Yep. That's what I wanted to do. That's why I haven't so much focused on Patreon and stuff like that is I wanted our community to get built first, and that way if anybody wanted to contribute, then it was there. I wasn't going to pressure or push it on you. I might mention it here and there, but I don't want you to feel like I'm shoving it down your throat. Because, like I said, I have seen so many different people out that do that. For instance, we actually just talked about this on Pat Flynn's channel a few days ago, and about how people on Twitch and Twitter and all the other platforms will actually downgrade their viewers and community members because, oh, well, you didn't give me $1. You're a cheapskate. You're an asshole because you didn't give me $1. No, that's no way to treat your viewers. That is not a way that you treat your community members. That is no way to build a business or a brand. That to me is a good way to run people off. Because if you tell me in every stream that if I don't give you $1, I'm not going to let you see my content, well, then good. I'm not going to give you $1 every damn day. I don't need to. If you want me to pay you for your content, then you need to give me a good reason to want to pay you for your content. Really, Greg? I did not. And I'm curious. Do you know how the caffeine affects your glaucoma? Do you have any specifics that you could say about how the caffeine affects your glaucoma? Because that really interests me because I have glaucoma. Glaucoma, cataracts, nystagmus, photophobia, all along with XLRP. So that caffeine comment is very interesting. Dale, to your question about guys in the chat question, do you know of a nonprofit organizations that help people with disabilities? I am looking for a place that could donate to. There are a lot. In fact, you're talking to somebody who is in the process and has been in the process the last couple years of starting my own nonprofit. My idea for the Blind Faith Church that I had mentioned in a previous stream, that whole Blind Faith Church would be my nonprofit because I want to show people that as a spiritual leader, I can help out our community way more than these mega churches are out there who sit there and buy themselves luxury cars, go out and buy 150, $250,000 planes or more expensive than that planes, property that they never use for anything. It yeah. Dale, I will message you in the group about that. But outside of me and what I'm trying to get going for my nonprofit, you have the Foundation Fighting Blindness. You have the Retina Foundation of the Southwest, which is actually where I went to for my clinical trials for my eye disease. Um, you have the Guiding Light house that is all for helping those that are with visual impairments. You have Special Olympics, for instance. Special Olympics is a good place as well because that is a place for all disabled to go and be able to participate in sports from being in school all the way up into adulthood. Right now, I haven't been on a basketball team now in ooh, 12 years, roughly, somewhere about that long. But I could go back to the Special Olympics and play on basketball or any of them sports, even up until you're 50, 60, 70 years old. It's open. Those are just a couple that I can think of right off of the top of my head that are some awesome nonprofits that I would support. Oh, guys, you talking about giving up caffeine is like, wow, I can't do it. Me without coffee, I would die. I'm telling you. I can't even do decaf. It has to be real coffee. If it's not real coffee, it's crap. Um, Dale, you might have you could probably drink your coffee still. You just might have to put it in moderation rather than being like me and literally drinking coffee from the time you get up until the time you go to bed. Because I do drink coffee all day long. You could possibly, have a cup in the morning or maybe a couple cups in the morning, whatever, and it might be all right with you and your body won't fight it as much. I know I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying this is my observation because I do fluctuate every now and then. I might skip a few hours worth of coffee. But that could be a possibility is to get decaffeinated coffee because they do have it to where it's still, pardon, they still have some caffeine in it, but it's not like completely decaf. And then of course you have regular old decaf, which is like no caffeine at all. Excuse me. Um, I used to drink a lot of energy drinks and stuff like that, so I totally understand what you're talking about when you're talking about sleeping schedule and stuff. Cause yeah, I used to drink so much Red Bull and Amp and Monster and all that crap that I would have chest pains because of the amount of the bull crap in all of those different drinks. Uh, nice. I did not know that, Danny. That's good to know. David Blunkett represented the city of Sheffield for 28 years. That is awesome. Thank you, Dale. I just seen your comment here. I can't thank you enough, sister. I would love to reach through this microphone and screen right now and just give you a big old hug. We can all listen to each other, and even if we don't agree, it is healthy to listen and respect the other person's opinion. That's why I like Andrew's streams. Thank you, Dale. I greatly appreciate that because that right there is one thing I have been trying to get people to do for a long, long time. We don't have to fully agree 100% on absolutely anything. If we did, we wouldn't be individuals. We would be mindless robots walking around just agreeing to everything. And that's not being an individual, that's not being independent. Not one person is the exact same. Just like they keep trying to say on some of the mainstream media about, well, your immune system's the same. No, it's not. Everybody is different. We all have our own health issues. We have our own allergies, our own thoughts, our own opinions. And that is one thing I absolutely love trying to teach people is to share them. Don't fear them because if we sit here and keep doing this bickering back and forth, fighting each other, it ain't going to help anything. Society is just going to sit here and keep fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's not what we want. We want to see everything get better, not worse. All right, I do believe I am caught up on the comments. Just to double check real quick. Interesting, Dale. Thank you. I did not know about the audiobooks being here on YouTube. I will have to check that out. Right, Danny McKenna. Exactly. Doesn't take a genius, really, does it? Better safe than sorry. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. All right, now let's zoom back down here to the bottom, catch up with the most recents for the chat. Uh, Decaf nasty. Yes, totally agree. Decaf is absolutely nasty. What? Danny McKenna. I added Matt on Facebook. I went to message him and he blocked me. What? That is crazy. Wow. I never would have expected that out of Matt. He always seemed like such an awesome dude. I I'm honestly surprised because I have I've honestly gone on a rant like I am here on the channel on his comments and never got it removed. We had conversations over everything. So I'm kind of surprised that he would block you. That's crazy. Yeah, Dale, I know. I go and watch Matt's videos on the stimulus check because I would much rather listen to Matt and Corey on it than the mainstream media, because I know Matt's gonna give his own perspective, but his perspective comes from our perspective as in being the blind and visually impaired. So I think in that sense, it's easier for me to listen to Matt because I know he's looking out for our best interest. Yes, I absolutely love Matt and Corey. That statement by Danny just is like, wow, I'm surprised because I've actually got to finish making a video to thank them because of winning my no jab cane. I I still haven't gone out and tested it on another surface yet, but from that very first time, oh man, was I irritated. But trial and error, I've only used it once, so that video we will be coming out soon because I am actually in the process of going out to use it and try it out more on different surfaces and places so I can see how it behaves compared to on the side of a road. I'm glad that you guys agree with that statement because it is one of my biggest issues. In fact, if you've been here since the beginning of my channel, that was the very first thing that I talked about is Social Security and how I was getting screwed. When I created this channel, my very first episode was a vlog about Social Security because they forced me to apply for actual disability income rather than supplemental income because of my mom being on disability now. Okay, in fact, here, story time, guys. This is one reason that I am so irritated, besides the whole income being low previously, but this past New Year, okay, just a few months ago, Social Security really, really, really pissed me off because I've been on SSI for years now. Okay. 10 years plus I've been on SSI. This year, as of, well, I should say technically last year, we'll say November of last year, Social Security actually reached out to my mother on my behalf. You know, not that she's my guardian or legal guardian or anything like that. They reached out to her because I refused to answer the phone call because I don't answer numbers I don't know. And we get so many spam calls for the fake Social Security people trying to get information that they don't need so they could steal identities. But Social Security actually hit up my mother and told her that I had to contact them because of an important matter with my case. So I called Social Security and I told them, it's like, I didn't think it was real because I get all these calls about, well, hi, I'm from the National Disability Institute and we want to see if we can help you out. No, fake. Don't give out your information. Social Security is very, 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 very rarely going to call you without sending you a letter first. But they told her I had an issue that I had to contact them about. I called Social Security and they told me that you must file this paperwork by this date. And if you don't, We're taking you off of Social Security, well, SSI entirely, because my mother had a brain aneurysm 2 years ago and had to have brain surgery. And because of that, my mother is now on disability because she can no longer work because of that surgery. So my mom got on disability after a few months of being disabled and having surgery. And because of that, it put a flag on my account stating that I need to apply for child benefits underneath my mother because I was disabled before the age of 22. And if I did not respond and do that application, even if I didn't want it, if I did not file, they were cutting me off of SSI entirely. And then I would have been homeless even sooner than what I ended up homeless any damn way. And that was why that very first episode on this channel was about Social Security. That's why the second video was about Social Security, because the bullshit that we have to put up with their stupid ass restrictions is stupid already. And then for them to tell me I must apply for something I did not want is even more irritating. I could have dealt with $650 a month. I didn't want to deal with extra hassle for them to give me more money. I didn't want the money. I wanted just to be left alone. I was happy. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I had to go through and apply for all their stuff. They almost made me go to an eye doctor just to re-verify that I'm legally blind, even though I just did it a year ago. And it's stupid. I'm grateful that I get the extra $100 now, but still, I originally didn't want the extra $100. You know, I hate it because I feel like I've been a sponge all these years. I've had so many of my friends and family tell me, no, don't worry about it. You spent 8 years in the military. It's the least they can do. But no, I didn't want to be paid. I didn't care if I was paid to volunteer at the Marine Corps. It wasn't why I was there. My whole purpose, as I said earlier in this stream, was to help people, not hurt people. If I could have been like, I don't know if you guys seen the movie, but if I could have been like in Hacksaw Ridge, if I could have been the conscientious objector and gone to war without using a weapon, hell yeah, send me. I'll go. I have paramedic training. I have fire department training. You know, I have the knowledge that it takes to help save a life. If I could have went in and been a medic, I would have done that. I've actually even considered going to the Marine Corps these days in the past couple years and talking to them about being a chaplain. But I don't know if they'd let me because I'm not sure if you still have the same requirements to be a chaplain that you would for anybody else in the military. Because if I could have done that, I would have done that as well. Go ahead, put me back in uniform. I'll go to the combat zone and I'll sit there with my brothers and sisters and let them come and vent to me and cry on my shoulder if they need to or whatever. Because that's always how I've been, is helpful. I've always wanted to help as many people in any way I can. And I'd still do it today. No problem. No questions asked. You want me to sign on the dotted line to go sacrifice my life for our country? I'll do it any day of the week. Anyone in this community needs me there, I'll be there. There's just so much that just irritates me with Social Security. I could literally go on for hours on that whole topic. Thank you, Danny. I know I might be entitled to them benefits, but when I volunteered, that was one thing that I told them is I did not want them. I did not want to be paid. I did not want VA benefits for health. I didn't want a single thing from the Marine Corps. The only thing that I asked for my service is to have a military funeral. That's it. That's all I wanted. Drape that flag over my casket when I'm dead and I'll be happy. That's all I wanted. And I'll never know if I'm going to get it. They have it wrote down in my paperwork, but am I going to know that I had a military funeral? No, my ass is going to be sitting there dead in that box or in that urn or whatever. I'm not going to know. The only people that are going to know is whoever attends my funeral. And it's not like they're going to be able to tell me, oh, yeah, hey, Andy, you had a flag draped over your casket. I don't want nothing from them. I'm just happy I had the opportunity to serve our country and to prove family members and community members wrong, because everybody told me forever, and they still, to this day, I still have community members and relatives who will still tell me to this day that what I'm doing is not good. If it was up to some of them, I would not be a content creator in any shape, way, or form, because they don't understand what it means to be a content creator. They do not understand what it means to be a YouTuber. They do not understand how many people we in the blind and visually impaired and in the disabled community in general can help each other on our journeys throughout life because of the experiences and trials and struggles that we've all had. They don't think of it that way. They just think, oh, well, you're out there making videos and having a gay old time and you're just dicking around and having fun. No, there is a purpose to what we all do. And the sooner that some of them people would realize and understand this, then maybe they would pull their head out of their asses. Yeah, I know a creator knows Sean, and thank you. Exactly, Earth Magic. We can sit here in our community, we can have the low income and we're not going to get assistance. And then you have people that are out there getting 6, 7 figures. And yes, I did say 7 figures because there are a few of them who just got busted in the last couple months for fraud like that because they were trying to get money out of the stimulus package. One of them got like 20 million freaking dollars that he has to repay and now might actually go to prison for because he tried to manipulate the system that way. You know, I don't understand how we in the visually impaired or disabled community can be the lowest man on the totem pole and not receive assistance where the rich people or the wealthy can be out there with all their assets that they can sell off and still receive benefits like welfare or food stamps or whatever. It's very, very irritating. Amazon, the owner is tax exempt, even though we all have to pay taxes on everything that we buy from Amazon. They are not paying a single cent to the federal government in tax. They're not spending a single cent in tax to each state that they have their facilities in because they are doing their best to work their way around the system and hide behind things that they technically shouldn't be able to. But That's why our system's broken, is because it was designed for them to sit there and keep making that money and screw everybody in the process. It's why I can't stand our political system, because the whole two-party system is broken beyond belief. Because it's not supposed to be a two-party system. It's just supposed to be the people, which is a republic. For the people, by the people, not by these politicians who want to be one-sided on everything. Yeah, no, Danny, I don't think you can have your benefits paid into the same account as your wages, brother. I think they'd flag us for sure. Yeah, yeah. And about my car warranty, that is perfect, Greg. You took the thought right out of my head. Yeah, I want a Swiss bank account, brother. Telling you what. Yeah, costs from the IRS, and uh it's just freaking terrible what this system has turned into. And the only way things are going to change is if we actually talk on things like we are right here today in this stream. And I thank you all for this, because the value that we're providing here now is going to benefit somebody else in our community. Not just me ranting or anything. The conversation that is in this stream between us and between you, the replay for somebody else, is going to give them the knowledge and the help that they might need, or the encouragement to push forward and do things so they're not in these situations that we're talking about. Yes, churches are tax exempt, but Amazon is not a church. They're doing their best to hide behind religion so they don't have to, but Amazon is not a church. And that's what irritates me. If I could get my church going, I could guarantee you that you wouldn't see me sitting here with $150,000 vehicle, or a multi-million dollar plane, or a mega church. And even if I did by ever chance get a mega church, I would guarantee that all the money that would come in from that would be going right back out to our community, and that would be how it would be ran. Because I cannot stand megachurches. I cannot stand preachers and pastors and ministers, spiritual leaders who just take and take and take and take and don't give back. And what little bit they do give back is literally a little bit compared to the amount that they're taking for themselves. Right, Danny. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. Yep, lack of understanding is ignorance. Yes, sir. Yeah, Danny. Amazon Amazon does not pay taxes like we do. Um, they had like $20 billion last year in income. Not 1 cent went into our government for taxes. Not one. Now, how is it that a multi-billion-dollar company can avoid taxes, but yet if you or I or anybody else that is not rich happen to miss filing our taxes, or had a mess up and didn't have that right number on your tax form, they're going to turn around and they're going to punish you and possibly imprison you for tax evasion or tax fraud or whatever case may be. And we get screwed where these wealthy people and rich people can go, oh, hey, well, I'm going to hide behind religion and I'm going to sell you all this bunch of bullshit, products that are destroying our earth. And I'm going to have 50,000 freaking locations, and I'm not going to have to pay my way to contribute to our country like the law says. And I could go on to a whole freaking topic on the whole IRS and everything else too, but I really don't want to do that. That might be a topic for a different stream or maybe a video that I can do about why none of us, literally none of us in this country should be paying a single cent in tax. Because if you really want to go into the history thing, they invaded this country and stole it from the natives, from my ancestors, over taxes. No taxation without representation. Remember that old saying? What are we dealing with right now? Taxation without representation. They tax us, they tax everybody, and these politicians just go, whoop, here, let me put that in my pocket. Here, let me put that in my pocket. Oh, hey, thank you. I'm representing you, but really I'm not. I'm representing myself and getting rich at the same time and sitting on my ass for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in office. And that's all I'm doing is becoming a millionaire every single day because I could just keep screwing you over and screwing you over and screwing you over. And if I have my way, that ain't going to happen for much longer. Because they's going to find out what this blind guy is all about. I have boots. Yes, that could be their downfall. Uh, you is that up there in Canada, Danny? Because here in the States, they don't pay a damn thing. Yeah, because I'd have to pull up the article again, but as far as I know, maybe they do pay taxes in Canada, but they sure as hell ain't paying any here in the US. That is for sure. That has been one of the biggest consumer complaints that I've heard over the last few years. They sit there and they got all this crap that they sell to us and they could charge us on it, but yet they don't pay for it themselves, and they should be. Uh, Yes, Earth Magic, absolutely. They get rich and they get big old freaking fat pockets, and we all get to sit here and suffer. Really, I'm gonna have to look at into that, Danny, because everything I've seen says that they haven't paid anything. But it is now 2 hours into this stream. Holy cow. So, if anybody has any more questions, real quick, feel free to post them into the chat. I would love to be able to answer anything I can real quick for you, because I don't want to keep you guys all day long. And like I said earlier, I got a lot I've still got to do for reaching out to some of you about coming on to the show as well as others. And I got some stuff I've got to do here around the house as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to hurry up, drop that into the chat, and I will answer it real quick. If you don't, then I will get ready to close this down here real quick in just a minute. Yeah, Danny, if you didn't pay your taxes last year, I definitely bet you would be in some big trouble. I know that's one thing that we will never get away with. All right, I know there's a little bit of a delay. So, does anybody have any more last minute quick questions that you would like me to answer for today's stream? Otherwise, you can post it into the comments for the replay, or maybe you can ask tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. As you know, I will be here every day this month live streaming, and that's actually a good question now that I think about it. After this month, I'm not going to live stream every single day, but I would love to hear your input on how often you would like to see me stream from this point on and what time works best for you. That way, I can try to do my best to schedule it so our community is able to be here and participate in the chat and in the conversation, as well as get your questions asked and answered, and be able to help you on your content or on your brand, just in general, help you with knowing you're not alone, that you do have a community here who has struggled and experienced a lot of the same issues. All right, Earth Magic Sister, thank you for coming and joining us again today. I greatly appreciate you. I hope you have a good evening. And we'll see you tomorrow, I hope. All right, guys, I'm not seeing any more questions pop in. So I am going to close this out for today. It was nice hanging out with you guys today. Thank you for the stream. Thank you, Dale, for coming and joining us. I can't thank you all enough for all your support and encouragement and comments and chatting. I thank you. It means a great deal to me because I was so nervous before this challenge started. So, I want to thank everybody that has joined me today. Dale, Danny, Earth Magic, Divided by Sight, Aaron, Just Samson, Nogging, uh, Danny Mac McKenna, Sean, Greg. I don't think I'm. Oh, April. Thank you all for coming and joining me today. I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Hit the bell icon so you can stay updated on the latest videos, live streams, and more. And I hope that I will see you tomorrow, 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Pacific, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again, everybody. I hope you have a great day, great evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow afternoon. Thanks again for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow.